It's been about a week since the vehicle crash I had, and just wanted to give some updates. Things have been very busy these past couple of weeks, but I was still able to get some fun in, and I just wanted to kind of share those as I kind of go along. Obviously, it's kind of a shock whenever you're in a vehicle accident, and it does have the opportunity to distort your life and try to disturb your routine in so many ways. But luckily, although my car was a total loss, I was able to negotiate with my manager at my hospital, and she's fine with me coming in through public transportation. Although it would be a couple minutes later, I would just stay a few minutes later during my shifts. And right now, I'm kind of relieved at the very least that they are being very flexible with me, because I thought their unit really didn't care about me or my personal growth or success. So my transportation thing is settled. Health wise, I'm still doing okay. Sometimes I'll have some ringing in my ears or some minor headaches, but those typically are going away and getting a little bit better. I do feel much better now than I did last week when it came to the numbness in my head. Those clips you saw earlier in this video were actually me taking public transportation to see one of my friends. Patrick had a friend of his, Cam, I think his name was, in Cambridge. Him, Yasmina, Cam, and I believe Cam's fiance were all there. Those clips you saw in the video were actually me going to Cambridge because I was interested in kind of using the public transportation system and getting a sense to kind of explore more of the surrounding area so that I can kind of get accustomed to my new mode of transportation for the next months. And I really enjoyed it. I typically enjoy riding the bus and subway much more than driving a car. You get to sit back, relax, and kind of enjoy the scenery. You can read a book, listen to music, do anything else but being focused on the road. That's the driver's responsibility. So anyways, I went to the bookstore, Harvard University's bookstore, and I actually got a book that I really want to read for quite some time. It was called The Origins of Totalitarianism by Hannah Arendt. And it's really a book that kind of describes the intricate details of how totalitarian regimes like the Nazi regime and the Soviet Union came up, and how historical evidence and historical bias within European society kind of framed that. And based on the current political climate and situation we are in today globally, there's a lot of overlap and a lot of applications to today's current societal issues when it comes to the rise of totalitarian regimes. So it's a book I really always wanted to read, and I got it at a pretty reasonable price. I think it was $21, and I've been kind of reading it ever since, typically before I go to bed and whenever I have some free time. It really is inspiring, and it kind of like gives you that fuel necessarily to make that change in the world and prevent any corrupt regimes from taking over in the first place. So anyways, I had that book, and we went to Cam's house. We had some fun. I think we had dinner there, we drank, and we also played a couple of board games, and I think we stayed there for like 3.5, 4 hours almost, all the way up until midnight, which was really good. And then this past Monday, I went rock climbing with Patrick again. So things have been very busy, and that's kind of like the reason why I really wasn't able to focus too much on the vlog. But my hopes is that after this crash, I can just kind of move on with my life and really start continuing my journey. Another kind of update I wanted to share is I recently submitted my application to 3 medical schools in addition to the one in Australia. So I submitted my application to 2 Greek medical schools, the University of Athens and Aristotle University in Thessaloniki, as well as Vilnius University's medical school in Lithuania. I should hear back from them later this year regarding a decision on my admission results, and I'll just kind of go from there depending on what school wants me and where I want to go. This week is just going to continue to be normal and kind of expectant. But my goal this week is kind of readjusting to this incident that occurred and moving on from it. I'll certainly keep you updated to the best I can if I'm able to, and just kind of share more about my journey here. Many thanks, as always. Cheers.